Jai Hind. Today we will be talking about the Rashtriya Rifles. The Rashtriya Rifles crest consists of Ashok Chakra, two crossed rifles with fixed bayonets. Beneath in a banner is emblazoned the motto of this force, Drinta or Virta. The Rashtriya Rifles or RR is a branch of the Indian Army under the authority of the Ministry of Home Affairs. They are a counter-insurgency, anti-terrorist force made up of soldiers deputed from other parts of the Indian Army, who receive special incentives while serving in the Rashtriya Rifles. When half of the RR come from the Indian Army's infantry and one half from the rest of the Indian Army. The force is deployed in Jammu and Kashmir. Some consider it the world's largest dedicated counter-insurgency force. Since the RR are under the authority of Ministry of Home Affairs and furthermore were initially designated paramilitary to get around an army manpower ceiling, they are sometimes misidentified as part of the paramilitary forces of India. Now let's talk about a little history of the Rashtriya Rifles of our nation. It was raised by General S.F. Rodrigues and molded by General B.C. Joshi in 1990 into a force dedicated to fighting insurgency in Kashmir and to complement the weak local security forces in the area. By 1994, it had 5,000 troops, all of whom served in Jammu and Kashmir. Some observers expected the force to grow to 30 battalions with around 25,000 personnel. In March 1995, Indian television referred to the Delta Force of the fledgling Rashtriya Rifles. It was reported that the force was operating against terrorists and foreign mercenaries in Doda district in south-central Jammu and Kashmir. The initial RR units performed well, despite certain inherent weaknesses in their class and composition. They were raised on all India, all class basis with troops from all over the army. The logic being that since the units were going to fight an insurgency, there should be no scope for wasted interest in accusing a battalion of bias based on a class or regional attributes. Unfortunately, this setup created problems in the field. The initial RR units were like transit camps, with troops coming and going at regular intervals. There was little camaraderie and cohesion among troops. There were also numerous problems of administration and even of indiscipline. CEOs of infantry battalions who were asked to provide manpower generally used to use that as a chance to get rid of troublemakers. If the initial battalions performed well in the hostile conditions, it was mainly due to professional competence of officers who were asked to lead them. Keeping this very thing in mind, a decision was taken to alter the basic composition of RR battalions. Instead of its units being composed of troops from all over the army, two RR battalions were made an integral part of each of the infantry regiments and other arms. Now, not only are the majority of troops of the two RR battalions drawn from the other units of the regiment, but their commanding officer or the 2IC is from the same regiment. This ensures not only the functional cohesion but also the regimental esprit de corps. This experiment has produced excellent results even while the units were deployed in the most difficult areas. Now let's talk about RR sector locations. Sector 1 is in Anantnag, Sector 2 Kulgam, Sector 3 Kangan, Sector 4 is in Doda, Sector 5 Baramulla, Sector 6 Poonch, Sector 7 is in Kupwara, Sector 8 in Kupwara, Sector 9 in Kishtwar, Sector 10 Baramulla again, Sector 11 Banihal, Sector 12 Badgam. Some known RR battalion affiliations are 4 RR Bihar, 7 RR Punjab, 10 RR Rajput, 11 RR Dogra, 12 RR Grenadiers, 13 RR Kumaon, 17 RR Maratha, 21 RR Guards, 22 RR Punjab, 36 RR Garhwal Rifles, and many more. For more such information, subscribe to our channel. Jai Hind.